in war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death, sacrifice. Man, I'm making another motherfucking warden. So, it has been a few years since I had last made a warden cosplay, so the first iteration was in 2023, and I actually won my first ever competition, which was so cool. So seams were a bit rough, they were visible, hot glue, babes. But then we got to the second version where I cleaned it up a little bit. So with some of this, you know, like, I gave it a sanding, and just, I figured out and found out what filler was, and so I abused it. And then I also used a bit of foam clay to lift up the chest. I was still working with that old tabard, but come version 3, which was in 2024 at Irish Gaming Market Spring Edition, come 2024, I had made a brand new tabard, and the armor was basically the same, but, you know, like, I laid it to rest for then. But come 2025, I decided, you know what? No, I'm doing this again. So, I have made all my patterns, on Pepekura Designer. If you want tutorials, I'll link them in the description, because, it's a headbreaker. It took me months to figure it out. But yeah, I had built this, actually, my quickest build ever. It took me, 1 week to do all the armor, from start to finish. And so I was using oil pastel. That's why it's so visible. I use oil pastel to trace out because it's actually really easy to get off foam, in comparison to most inks. So yeah, it actually worked out quite well. But yeah, I was very excited to work on this cosplay because, I had Okamicon coming up. I actually ended up getting best, armor in that competition, which was awesome. And so I was genuinely really happy with this. I had better proportions, better pieces. I had made new designs for the leg pieces, and I decided to keep some pieces out for now, although I may inevitably do them in Warbler, as unfortunately stuff like those weird arm kind of platings, just didn't work well. Also, I watched all of Kevin Kim fuck himself, while making this. It's on Amazon. I highly recommend it. It's such a good show. But yeah, had been dremeling everything down and just generally getting everything as smooth as I could to make it easier. Like, I never knew about this, you know, like, all these tools when I first made it, so I was so happy that come this time around, I'd be able to do it. And, like, it felt important. It felt like a huge step, because this was my first proper thing of armor, and to have remade it is just insane. Like, only a few years later, because my first actual armor was in 2022 with my NCR Ranger. That was my first, and that was not good. But that was my first, and this was my second, and it was full body. Like, it was amazing. Also, highly recommend use contact cement. It is so much better than hot glue, because I used hot glue last time, but when you sweat a lot, it'll start pulling apart, and you'll notice after like 2 wears, you're gonna have to start doing repairs because it's damaged. Hot glue, I use it as a backing after I've used contact cement to secure things, because honestly, it's just not reliable enough. all I can say is there was so much sanding. Because I wanted this smooth. I'm using a new mouse sander. I highly recommend, because like it's very slow, but it's workable. It's no major risk to your phone. And then you like with some sealant. Just I hand sand it, wet sand it with 220 to bring it down, just so it's subtle enough. Because I don't want it to be bold and stand out. Though I do believe I did put on too much. So yeah, but that's kind of me rushing through it. So I got a sword 3D printed for me by Sprozzprops. It's a honorific armory print. Very, very good. Amazing detail in that file, and it was such a pain to sand because the intricacy of the emblem is just insane. But I'm very proud of how it went. I also made it quite heavy because I used rebar. I used rebar in the center. But yeah. Also, Rust-Oleum is the best. I then competed in it at DCC, though unfortunately, I had a pretty bad rush job of this shirt. The shirt wasn't sewn enough so you can see my armpits, and then the sash was hot glued, and also the legs were way too long. I was just dragging them along. But anyway, come the next version, the Okamikon version 5. This is what I'm currently on. Genuinely so proud of this. I had gone everything sewn, everything fixed up, everything resanded, repainted. I don't have photos of it. I only have this one, but it is so good, in my opinion. In comparison to the former version, being version 1. So I'm genuinely proud of the development of this cosplay, because I believe that as a project, this has basically been showing how I actually improved as a cosplayer. As while I have been cosplaying for nearly 9 years, as of 2025, I genuinely believe that my growth has been rather stunted, because it wasn't until the it wasn't until really COVID where I actually began to make things. But I think I've really exploded in my capabilities as a cosplayer, in my confidence as a cosplayer, and genuinely, I'm very proud of where I am currently in my cosplay journey. And here's hoping for like another decade, because I really do want to be able to have a cosplay that I can compete in on an international stage. That is my hopes for cosplay. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Tyrion Crow. Have a drink of water and have a lovely day. Peace.